You've asked me how to find and connect with rich men. Now, I already know when I just asked, there's going to be a bunch of dudes out there that's mad and angry, like, why y'all want rich men? Look, don't get mad just like you want women with a big booty. It's no difference. I know a lot of y'all women going to go try to, do the higher ground thing. Like, I don't care whether a man is rich or not. I care if he's rich in heart. Well, that's cool for you. Great. But people have a right to want what they want. All right. Just like you might want somebody for their looks. You might want somebody for their cool singing voice or whatever. Wanting somebody for money is just a thing also. Okay. They're all superficial things. Let's keep it a buck. So anyway, let's go along. There are 5 things you really need to look at when you're trying to find and connect with a rich guy. And here they are. Number 1, find your target. Now, the fact that I use the term target is going to upset some people. Let's just be real. Because when you say target, it sounds like a bad thing. I don't care whether it sounds like a bad thing or not. Look, I'm just giving you the information, all right? So, number 1 is find your target. And what you want to do when you find your target is some research, okay? In order to find your target, you're going to have to figure out clearly what the person has, whether they got money, what kind of individual you're dealing with, who they hang out with, what they're interested in, what type of goals they have and aspirations, what type of women they actually like and are interested in. You got to find these things out as part of finding your target. Otherwise, you're just going to be willy-nilly trying to pick people. It's generally not going to work out. You got to really do a mission, a reconnaissance mission, so that you can figure out what's going on with the person, what they like, what they don't like, what their circle looks like, what type of things they're into, so that you can kind of go to the next step with ease. Step 2, get right. Now, what do I mean by that? You just figured out what your target is or who your target is. You just figured out a lot of things about that person. Now, when you did that, you need to make sure you calculate. You're looking for somebody that's got some bread. You're looking for somebody that's probably going to be insulated by other people. So you have to understand that there's going to be some competition there. You have to understand there's going to be a difficult role to kind of navigate your way through it, especially if you're working a 9 to 5 and you're not around rich people on a regular basis. Now, some people were born to rich families, were fortunate enough to be born to rich families. Some people are rich in their own right and got all kind of bread, so it's not that hard to find somebody that's got money. But some people are working a 9 to 5, making minimum wage or making a little bit more than that, or, making a decent living, but not rich and in rich circles. So if that's the case, you're going to have to do certain things on your end based on what you found out about this person. So if this person likes tennis, you're going to have to learn some stuff about tennis. You might even have to take some classes and start playing. If they like golf or whatever, you're going to have to learn some stuff about golf. Might even have to take some classes and start playing. If they do real estate, you might have to learn some things about real estate. You're going to have to prep yourself. You're going to have to look your best. I'm just going to keep it real with you. If you're not going to be physically up to par, then you're just putting yourself in a situation where you're probably going to get embarrassed. I'm just being real with you. So that means you're going to have to buy the clothes. You're going to have to look the part. You might have to spend a little bit of money that you may not necessarily have, okay? This is an investment that you're going to have to think about. So that means when you do this, you got to go all in. It can't be just for a little fun time. You got to make the investment so you can get your money back. I know some people are going to be like, you really get your money back, you gold digger? Hey, get mad if you want to, but this is the way it has to go. All right? So you got to make that investment. That means you got to invest in yourself physically. You have to invest in yourself mentally. You have to invest in yourself financially also. Just the way it has to go. Number 3, get into his circle. Now, what do I mean by that? The richer the person, normally the harder it's going to be to meet them in a one-on-one situation. So what you're going to have to do, go back to what you did first when you found your target. That means you had to use social media, you had to use your friends, you had to use anybody you possibly could to find out things about this person. Now you want to start knocking off the circle. You want to start figuring out, this works in business too if you want to meet somebody, for some of y'all who might want to do that too. You can use most of these things that I teach you about relationships, you can use for any kind of relationship. Business, anything, athletic, it doesn't even matter. But anyway, so once you find this person's circle, now you start penetrating the circle. You start figuring out other people who are kind of on the outside who would be easier to connect to. So say you're trying to get with somebody who's a multi-millionaire and it's almost impossible for you to really talk to them. Well, they may have some friends, some cousins, some female friends, people like that who are not so popping, who are not so rich, who are not so insulated. And you might be able to talk to them, start becoming friends with them a little bit. Like I said, this is an investment. If you're a person that likes to get things overnight and you can't really be patient, you can't work towards something, it's probably not something that you want to do unless you were born rich or you're already in that circle naturally. If not, it's going to be a situation you have to work towards it. So you want to connect with those friends, and that's going to push you into the circle. That's going to put you around that person so that now you can get into their space a little bit easier. Make friends with some of the people that are easier, that are kind of on the outskirts. A lot of times a like of a picture, talking to them a little bit, that's all you're going to really need to do to push yourself to that next level and become cool with them. Number 4 is engage. You want to engage this person. You want to start becoming cool with this person, even if it's more on a friendly level. Because once you become a part of their circle, it's only going to be a matter of time before you are in their space, either in their space on cyberspace or in their space in person. Now you want to start engaging. If they comment on something, you might want to comment behind them. If you see them in person, you might want to get inside of whatever conversation they're in and show them that you can add things. Remember, you already did your targeting. So that means you know what they're interested in and you know their points of view on certain things. This is easy because now we live in the social media era. So if you want to figure out everything and anything about what people think or what people would say, about what people do, all you really got to do is go on social media and pretty much you're going to figure out everything about that person. So this is pretty simple. But what you want to do is now you want to start engaging that person. When you do this, it's going to cause you to stick out. Now people are going to want to connect with you. They're going to want to see what's going on with you because you've already groomed yourself in a way that's going to give you more ability to be able to connect with them. Because you know they're going to talk about tennis, so now you're talking about tennis. You know they're going to talk about golf, so you can talk about golf. You know they're going to talk about real estate. You know they're going to talk about politics. You're going to be in a position where you can talk about any one of those things and connect with this person on a real level. So that's going to be easier for you to do. Once you make that connection where you're talking to them, where you're becoming friendly, where you're getting to know them better, now you just go to the next step. In step 5, this is a big one, show value. Once you have gotten to know this person a little bit, whether it's in a romantic or platonic way, you can take that next step by simply showing value. You got to remember, you actually have an advantage because you're coming from the outside. If you're not born rich, if you're not around rich people all the time, you're operating at a different frequency. You know what it takes to get to know this person, but you also have some things about you that are different than what they're used to, and you can introduce them to things that are different than what they're used to. Even if they weren't born rich, if they've been around rich people for a long period of time, and that's become their new circle, they're going to want a taste of home. They're going to want a taste of something different. So what you can do at this point is you can start showing that value. You can start showing, hey, I'm sophisticated, I'm smart, but here's where I can connect with you and I can relate to you. Hey, I'm sophisticated, I'm smart, but I'll play with your nieces and nephews. I'll go home and cook grits with your mama or your grandmama. You get what I'm saying? You can connect with these people in any kind of way. I'll ride horses with you. I'll get on the farm with you. Whatever the case may be. Now you can start showing your value, what you bring to the table, how you can be better than what they're used to. And what this does is cause that person to actually like you a lot more and causes you to stick out more. As you keep doing that, you just continue to build value, show loyalty, show that you're with them, show that you're on their side, and eventually they start chasing you more than you're even chasing them. Now, I know some of y'all gonna judge this video and be like, forget y'all, y'all try to get people with money, gold digger, and all that. But the reality is, people have a right to want what they want. And for me, I'm not gonna tell you what you need to want, I'm gonna tell you how to get what you want.